Welcome to another Ethereum update. Okay, so this is now in perspective what we're expecting. So we need to just sort of get our heads around what this could potentially mean for the pattern. Right, so I've just posted the Bitcoin idea where we're taking a look at what's unfolding and just being careful and just trying not to be too bullish when there's a pattern that indicates potentially that we could see further correction before we see the move that we're expecting, right? Now, one thing that I need to mention is that it's not a bad thing because it most likely will only increase the upside potential. As you know, when the consolidation period is ongoing, it's just going to build more and more pressure, potentially make higher lows and end up just going higher than previously expected, right? So this is my interpretation of the internals of this market here, right? Now, I did consider this being something else in the beginning within this area here, but to me, this is just part of the same move, now, there is a thing called expanded type 2 zigzags in RS wave, and I do believe that that's what we have here. If you look at the first couple of waves there, they don't exactly look a lot like a normal 5-wave move. So there's a lot of internal price action going on in here, which suggests that this is because it can't be a 5-wave move. And I did try also looking at whether or not this here, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. If this here was an AB, what's going on? A, B, C, and it doesn't make sense for this to be, to be a D and an E, it'd have to the D would have to come all the way up here. I suppose if you looked at it like that, potentially it could be the case that we're only looking for one more move down in E wave. Okay, if you looked at it like that, to be honest with you, I don't think that's the case, simply because I do think there is going to be a CDE coming, and this doesn't really look like a 3-wave move. I can't see internals for a 3-wave move here on this one. It just falls a bit short when it comes to that kind of view, in my opinion. So this can't be an A. I don't think this is a 3-wave move. So therefore, I'm not going to count it as that view. So I'm going to just remove these. Okay. And I'm just looking at this as an AB. Okay. Now, I'm expecting a CDE. How that happens, I can't tell you. But first of all, it's going to be 5 waves. It could be 3 waves and then 5 waves. It could just do this, right? And then go for the target, whatever that may be, measured from wherever wave E ends, something like that. Okay, now that's why I'm not going to say to you, oh, it could be, well, technically it can be anything, right? I can't tell you what it can and can't be. It could even do something like this, right? I can't tell you whether that's going to happen or not. It can happen. Anything can happen, right? But most likely not, right? Most likely will be 5. It might even be 3, 5, right? We just don't know. All we can do at this point is track 5-wave moves and then look for a reversal, right? And then wait for the 3-wave move, the 5, and then basically you're buying the dip whenever that happens. right? That's what I tend to do generally when I'm trading in general, is buy the E wave, the break of the E wave. And I suppose as this progresses, we're going to get more verification of the pattern as it moves in the direction of a C wave. Once I see 5 waves complete, I do believe that's a rebuy, a buying opportunity. So you may be wondering, so is this thing ready to fall now if it is a C wave? And I do believe so. I do believe that we are in that position now where we have seen a 1-2. Right, I have given the idea that it could only be a zigzag, and I have put that out there previously. I'll link it below. But if we're working with the idea that this could potentially be a C wave to the downside beginning, then the count is 1, 2, like right there, right? It could go a little bit higher, but it cannot go above the high if this count is to be valid. That would be resistance. And to confirm this move, we'd have to see a break of this low right here. Okay, if we see a break of that low, then the move down will begin. If the move is sharper than the first move, I would be more likely to consider this being a C wave to the downside rather than just a zigzag. If it was a zigzag, more than likely you'd see a much weaker pattern going on like this, right? Rather than a wave 3 down like that. Okay, so that's just how I see it using trend analysis as well, because you got to recognize that wave 3s are pretty sharp, but in an uptrend, wave Cs can be pretty weak, right? So confirmation of this move beginning to move down is at that level there, just going beneath the last low. Okay, now at the moment, using the retracements, we've basically, we've hit the 0.618. Could it potentially go to 0.786? Well, anything is possible, but it just can't go above the high. But I do see internals here that say this thing is going to turn shortly. Look for those signs. That's basically it. So now, if this pattern was more sharper in general, I might not even consider this move, this count being what I'm saying it is. But because it's sort of got this this weak pattern and 5 wave move here, that's an E, right? So this is where you would have seen your cup and handle pattern when you first got into this trade to go long, right? This is where you find the cup and handle pattern, right? And that's basically just here in this area. Here's the cup, here's the handle, right? And then you took off. So at the end of the day, we're going to see something similar moving forward. But first, we need to see more price action before we can make any more assumptions. Can it potentially make another high before this all begins? To be honest with you, it seems like it's already gone past its the length that it should have been, but at the same time, I do see a potential for one more high before it turns lower. And the reason being because of this pattern here. There's got to be a 1, and if there's a 1 here, I mean, could it be a leading pattern, a leading diagonal? Well, that's probably why it may already have been topped, because the first 5 waves up here may have been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then a 3, a 3, 4, 5, something like that. In terms of relative strength, we have to go to the daily for that one. Let's have a look. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wow, we look like we're losing strength there on the fifth wave. So although it can happen, I think it's unlikely. Anything can happen, but I think it's unlikely. I think we may start to see the move down. If we go above the last high, obviously, it has one more high to make, but I don't know. I just think that the C wave has already gone a bit longer than the A wave. So the A wave was a leading diagonal here. 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, and then C. So technically, in my opinion, it's hit resistance at the midpoint in the trend line. So we should see 5 waves down, all right? And then could be 3 waves up and then small 5 wave down. It might just contract, and then the upside potential is even better. But you have to remember that anything can happen, and this may fall down, a bit further. Not sure where. Support. How would you determine support? Well, there's obviously this, this trend line that's going on at the moment. The bottom of the channel, you could see some other potential support areas along this area here. That would be the start of wave A to the end of wave B. There, we could see something fall back to this area here. That is definitely possible. Good buying opportunity. But then again, we're going to have to pay attention and wait and see how that pans out. But that's what I'm seeing at the moment. So obviously we have to see what happens in order to continue to monitor this market. And with all these fluctuations and gyrations in these waves that I'm expecting, you could easily just sell and then buy again, sell and buy again, etc. When we see these waves unfold. All right, to think that this is just going to go straight up from here like that, anything is possible, but I would just be careful because at the moment, I'm trying to use a range of markets. We're looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Stellar, XLM, Stellar, Ripple, XRP. I'm going to just try and keep tabs on all the moves so that we can build a bigger picture here to say, well, hang on a minute. If I'm expecting these moves in other markets, other cryptos, then why would I expect higher on this one in particular? Is there a reason for it? Could it be possible? Just weigh up all these pros and cons and sort of try and follow the flow, the ebbs and flows of all the markets using, technical analysis, RS wave, and just, sort of trying to use some logic and common sense as well. When something looks like it's a bit overbought for the short term, then we should definitely be paying attention. So hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.